I will always say that Hawaii is a special place, but you can't really enjoy it if you're always so fixated on doing the things that you set out to. Sometimes you just got to let Hawaii happen to you and great things come out of it.
The hashtag Let Hawaii Happen has gained a lot of attention over the last couple of years. And really the heart behind the phrase Let Hawaii Happen is simply letting yourself experience Hawaii in its true nature. And letting Hawaii impact you and not the other way around is really what it's all about. And taking a trip to Hawaii is unlike going anywhere else in the world. However, so often people are quick to create itineraries and book excursions based on Yelp reviews, all before someone has even placed one foot on Hawaii's white sandy beaches. And as an entrepreneur, I'm naturally wired to plan, strategize, create, and also have a slight bent towards competition. However, for me, immersing myself in the culture of Hawaii and fostering relationships has brought clarity into what truly matters in being present. We'll discuss all these things on today's episode, along with one of the best places to stay in the heart of Waikiki.
Aloha! Welcome to Hawaii's Best podcast. Learn the stories behind Hawaii's best experiences, influencers, and businesses. Discover everything that makes Hawaii the Aloha State. And now your host, Bryan Murphy.
Aloha, and thanks for joining me on today's episode of Hawaii's Best. Hawaii's Best is all about discovering Hawaii's best businesses and influencers. And we get to hear the story from behind some of these amazing people and experiences. Today, we're talking the story with Julie Tabarejo, who is the Director of Experiences and Events at Coconut Waikiki Hotel and Shoreline Hotel Waikiki. Today, we're talking specifically about Shoreline Hotel. And naturally, in any great conversation, food gets brought up multiple times. And in my conversation with Julie, that is naturally what happened. We get to hear some of Julie's favorites spots to eat on Oahu. And recently we put together our top 10 places to eat on Oahu. And you can go to livehawaiisbest.com/food guide to download it for free, of course. And in the guide, we include some insider tips, even a Google Map link to pinpoint the direction and how to find it, because some of these spots are kind of a little hard to find. That's when you know it's really good. And some of our favorites on the menu as well are included within this guide. So go to livehawaiisbest.com/food guide to download it for free. Previously on episode 11, we talked with Shoreline's general manager, Elvita, and her team. On this episode, we catch up with Julie, the director of events and experiences on location, to hear some of the exciting things that Shoreline has been up to since we last talked with them about almost a year ago. You can find Shoreline at shorelinehotelwaikiki.com and on Instagram at Shoreline Hotel. And Shoreline is probably one of the most Instagrammable hotels that you can experience. So I want to encourage you to go to Shoreline Hotel on Instagram, and you get to be able to see some of those amazing pics. Shoreline is located in the heart of Waikiki, and I know there's a lot of places who claim that. They claim to be in the heart of Waikiki, but Shoreline is literally steps away from some of the most iconic spots when you think about Waikiki. And Julie and I describe what some of those spots are as well, and how Shoreline is positioned so close to some of these incredible locations. We also talk about how Shoreline continues to innovate and push the envelope when it comes to creating unforgettable experiences in Hawaii, and how they're being an active participant in sustainability initiatives on the island. The conversation also naturally drifts towards Hawaiian culture, and Julie being raised on the island, she offers some great advice for those traveling to Hawaii. So let's go ahead and let's head on over, and we're going to talk story with Julie. Julie, thanks so much for coming on Hawaii's Best today. How are you doing today?
Aloha, I'm doing great.
Awesome.
Weather is nice, so
It's
in
beautiful.
a good mood. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about your role here at Shoreline.
Sure. I am the Director of Experience and Events at Shoreline, but also our sister property, the Coconut. I handle the programming and events, so that's really special in the sense that I get to curate some great experiences for our guests. So that's anywhere from cotton candy to doing a We do handmade shave ice.
Mhm.
So you'll see me in the lobby with a huge block of ice cranking away.
So you're in it.
I am in it to win it. It's a lot of good fun.
Yeah.
We do a candy buffet.
Okay.
We bring in other vendors. I also do the marketing and the branding, some communications and public relations. So I wear many hats, but I'm very happy to be at this vibrant and lively hotel.
Awesome. So you do that for both properties?
I do, yes.
Wow, that's a big job. Yeah.
Ah.
What are some, I mean, you kind of rattled off some of those experiences, already, but what are some of your favorites, personal favorites that you like or look forward to?
I am a fan of the shave ice.
Yeah.
Born and raised here, tried and true. Shave ice is probably ingrained in my blood at this point, but it's something that brings me back to childhood. It's really special to me. So I'm glad that I can share that with our guests.
Maybe explain a little bit. Okay, shaved ice.
There's no D.
Right, exactly.
Yes, that's the first tip. Shave ice. And if you're on Hawaii Island, it's ice shave. So it depends on where you are.
Yeah.
But it's a block of ice that gets shaved down really thinly. And it just kind of melts in your mouth. You top it with flavoring. Some shops make their own. We use the ready-made stuff, but still good. It's the classic.
Right.
And you get to pick your flavors. At Shoreline, we do what's called a snow cap.
Mm-hmm.
So there's condensed milk on top, makes it real creamy. You can dig right into it with what are those things called? With the straw that has a ladle at the bottom?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
There needs to be a word for that.
It's definitely not a spork.
No, it's not a spork. That was my instinct. I thought it was going to be a spork, but it's not.
It's like a straw with a little spoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one really important thing is that it's not a snow cone.
Okay.
Not a snow cone. You're
Why?
gonna offend. It's not the same ice. The quality is different.
Here we go.
But if you ask any Hawaii person, they're going to tell you that it's not a snow cone.
Yeah.
It can never be. It never shall be. Really good stuff. If you're in Hawaii, you got to get it.
Absolutely. So back in the summer of 2019, Shoreline, you guys were on, back in July.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked a lot about the property with general manager. And we talked about just kind of how Shoreline came to be. So if you're listening to this right now, make sure you go back and check out that episode. I'll link it in the show notes. But for those who haven't heard that, maybe just give us a brief overview of what Shoreline's all about and a little brief history about it all.
So Shoreline came to be because we wanted something different in the industry. Alvita probably talked to you a little bit about this, that when you're doing something different, it's kind of scary, right?
Right.
Nobody really knows how it's going to turn out. But from where I sit right now, I think we're doing pretty great. It's a different experience. We're not the normal beige tone hotel.
Right.
You're going to see a lot of vibrant colors. And what I always say when we have visitors and who are seeing the hotel for the first time is that we live vibrantly here.
Yeah.
The seaside melts into the city and there is our hotel. It's just right there. And the great thing about the Shoreline is that we're different and we like it that way.
Mm-hmm. Talking about the location, I've walked past the property before and like, oh, there's Shoreline. But like staying here, you're right in the heart. Like people say they're in the heart of Waikiki,
Yes.
The marketing and all that. But Shoreline, you guys are right in the heart of it all.
Smack dab in the middle.
Yeah.
Which is perfect. I mean, our neighbors are the International Marketplace. We're just a walk away from a Biki station. So if you want to go exploring around Waikiki, it's right there and accessible. You can definitely get to our hotel via an Uber. You don't need to have a car, which is great. But world-class shopping, I mean, everywhere from Gucci to Prada and then all
Like
the way
half
down.
a block away.
Yeah. And H&M, we share a street.
Yeah.
If you really got to go go and get something. We have ABC right around the corner. Lots of good stuff.
So back to the property a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
This was obviously prior to the rebranding. Talk a little bit about what the building looked like prior to, and then that, breath of life into this place.
Sure.
When was that?
I want to say that this hotel was kind of run of the mill, without very many choice words, but it's average.
You walk right past it, yeah?
Yeah. I mean, I can't tell you how many times that before the rebrand, I passed this street. I lived here all my life and I'm like, oh, whatever. And then when the rebrand came and you see the ombré wall from our street, overlooking. You're like, oh my God, what is that? And then you see the neon colors coming through the white windows, and then you hear the music that comes out of here. You're like, oh my God, how did I miss this whole time? So we went from an average hotel that everybody kind of expects to being the unexpected.
Yeah. I think, this is probably over a year ago, your guys' Instagram caught my eye, and like all the colors and the vibrancy, and it just felt alive. And so, looking more into the property and kind of the history of this place, really cool. I love how you guys have taken something that was old, made it new without tearing down.
Yeah.
That's huge. And then, being here, on the website, on Instagram, you have a perception, you have an expectation of what it's going to be when you're there. And you're like, more often than not, you're slightly, that didn't meet all of my expectations. But like being on property, honestly, like the expectations have been exceeded.
Oh, thank you.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Because from the detail, I'm looking at, red flowers right now, and I'm sitting behind a red desk. It's every little detail from like the coffee sleeves, the ombre and everything. And then as you go up the floors, the ombre,
just continues. Have you been to our pool yet?
Yes, went up to the pool today. That was gorgeous.
That is a great collaboration between us and Southern California-based artist DJ Neff. So he came down, spent a month down here, painted them all by hand. So that's really important to us. And then we partnered with the Aloha Collection to do a bag with that design on it. So they're sold out on their website, but if you come here and you grab one, we're the only ones that have it now. Our brand is colorful. Our brand is vibrant. Our brand is playful, yet sophisticated, yet comfortable. Yeah. So it's a part of everything that we do. And what's really important to us is every nook and cranny is photo ready. You pull up to the bright pink wood wall that's right behind the check-in desk. And I can't tell you how many times I've seen people want to take a picture right there because it says Aloha in neon lights.
Yeah.
And then it's all the way down to our custom furnishings that's modern and contemporary. So it's cool.
The lobby's beautiful. It's very impressive.
Yeah.
High ceilings.
Did you see the white ceilings? We call it our jungle wall.
Oh,
it changes color.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's white on white. There's monstera leaves and it's a jungle feel. The lights behind it change out color. So when you're here in the lobby at night, it's a totally different experience than day.
Someone's listening to this right now, like, okay, that's great. It sounds amazing. Like, describing it all in detail. From your guys' perspective, what has some of the feedback been the last couple of years in the rebrand? What have some of the kind of the continuing reviews and continuing, heartbeat and theme that you've been hearing from people?
So we do hear a lot about the location, and we get a lot of Instagram photos.
Right.
We see that all the time, and it's great. And the thing that we want to dive into is the added value for our guests. It's more than just, hey, you get a water upon check-in. We're always thinking about what's the next best thing that we can do. And that's kind of why I'm here. I talked a little bit about my role, and that's the programming. So it's always coming up with fun ideas about, all right, are we doing hot yoga? Are we doing flower crown making? What gets you guys excited to come to us and hang out with us? And that's what's really important. So it's every little detail that we can possibly bring it together and make this one cohesive brand that's important to us.
Yeah. Okay. So what about take the budget away and take any, rules and regulations away, everything, like stay in between the lines. Okay. Take that all away. What would kind of some of your dreams be for what's next as far as experiences and events?
I would love to do book readings and signings and bring in
like local artists.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah. Like local artists, singers, songwriters, have something like this, an area set up kind of. Have you seen Tiny Desk?
I haven't.
On YouTube, I believe that's what it's called.
Okay.
But it's literally a tiny desk, and some artists sing and they do performances and they record and they post on YouTube. So that's really awesome to me. Yeah. And I want our guests to be a part of something.
Right.
A lot of times we travel to get out of what we know and what we're used to, and anything that I can do to bring them into Hawaii and what this hotel is and all that it can be is great. So those types of ideas, getting them involved, it's really cool for me to learn where they're coming from and why they're here and, what brings them out.
Right. I love that. Now, thinking about from your perspective, what are some must-dos? Say you Ubered here from the airport, like I did.
That's the way of the world now.
You know what I mean? So just kind of in this location, you're staying at Shoreline. What are some must-dos within this walking distance in Waikiki?
Definitely check out International Marketplace. I mean, not sponsored at all, but
no, yeah, for sure.
I really love it. They have some cool things going on over there. They have Mitsuo Market that has, great little supermarket that sells mochi donuts. There's also poke, and I mean, number one thing, if you're in Waikiki, you got to walk the strip.
Right.
You got to do it.
Right.
That's just a mandatory checklist thing. It's, bucket list. Definitely get on a biki if you can. That's fairly new in Hawaii. I know other places have it, but we've got great weather, lots of interesting things to see, palm trees everywhere. Got to do it. I'm talking about all food right now. Can you tell?
Yeah, I mean, you got me.
Get a plate lunch.
Yeah.
God, get in the water.
Yeah.
Get in there. I mean, there's something different about Hawaii water. We say that it heals all wounds. Yeah. It's nice and relaxing, fairly warm. I mean, to me, if I'm getting in the water because I'm used to it, it's cold, but
there's something about going down to the beach path for the first time.
Yes.
And you look to your left and you see Diamond Head and you got the beach. Like that's Hawaii. I've seen that on postcards. Like it's right here.
Yep. That's the great thing about our location too. You're in the middle of the hustle and bustle. You're in the literal heartbeat of Waikiki, and you can walk a block away and get to the beach and relax. And then when you say, I'm done with it, you don't even need to get in your car. You just walk on back to the hotel, take a shower, relax, come on down and get some free wine tastings for our programming, and you're golden for the day.
Yeah, love that. Looking more about the location of Shoreline, and you have some of the best, most world-renowned brands just in this location. And you kind of forget you're on an island.
Yes.
And you forget about, say you're coming here and you're visiting, you forget, like you see the beach, but it's in the middle of the ocean. And a lot of what Hawaii has become didn't become by accident.
Yes.
It's taken intentionality, sustainability, initiatives. So from Shoreline's perspective, I know that's a big heartbeat of your guys's. How is Shoreline being a part of the initiative in sustainability and environmental friendly?
Sure. I want to start by saying that Hawaii is a very special place in the sense that we're isolated.
Right.
We're the most isolated landmass in the world. We have some great flora, fauna, wildlife, oceanography, everything that you can possibly imagine. And we're so bright and colorful as a state, as we are with this hotel. But what's really keeping us together is our malama, and being in this together, working together, thinking about the sustainable efforts and ecotourism. Doing our part as a property is really important because we want this special place to last for years to come.
Right.
I want my children and my children's children to be able to experience it. And you're completely right. We're a city on the edge of the water in the middle of an ocean, and we are not the only things out there. Our ecosystem depends on what we do and how we treat the land. And that's something really important to not only us, but the Hawaiian culture. Right. So kind of leading into what I wanted to say is that we're so excited to partner with a brand called Public Goods. It was a Kickstarter success story, and they're doing really well. Very minimalistic look, sleek. But the great thing about that is what we're doing in partnership with. So we're redoing the way that we offer bath amenities. Instead of putting single-use plastics inside of the room, we've adopted a sustainable procedure where we refill pump dispensing bottles, and the plastics of Public Goods bath products are made of sugarcane. So they all come from a sustainable practice and how they're made. And it's just good for the land. It's good for what we're bringing in. And how can we as a hotel industry say, let's be green, but not support that? So that's one of the ways that we're doing it.
So you kind of just skated right over it. The actual packaging is made of sugarcane.
Yep.
That's incredible.
It's super cool technology that we live in a world like this today, but it's made of sugarcane. It's a special bioplastic. Cool stuff. So the new products that we have as of February 1st are the shampoo, conditioner, body wash, and lotion. I know there are a lot of earth conscious people out there. So the products are vegan friendly, cruelty free, made in the USA, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
And they don't have any harmful chemicals, parabens, synthetic fragrances. So we're really excited to partner with this sustainable brand, but it's also stylish and it fits in with everything that Shoreline is.
If someone's coming to the islands for the first time, kind of going off what you guys are doing here as far as sustainability, how would you encourage somebody maybe packing or what to expect coming to the islands, talking about more eco-friendly? Do you have any tips on that?
Bring sunscreen. It's really important. But
reef safe. Yeah.
Yes, reef safe is really important. We actually have that in our hotel too, in our retail cart in case you forget. But pack light. You don't need the 20 outfits. You're probably going to end up in your swimsuit.
Right.
So it's totally okay. And if you're coming here, bringing all of your great stuff with you, I think once you get here, you should remember that we're on Hawaii time.
Yeah.
Nobody's in a rush here. And if we are, trust me, it's not the type of rush that you're thinking of. It's really just to take it all in. The island is beautiful. There's gorgeous, gorgeous sunrises, sunsets, lots of great things to see. I mean, you can see Diamond Head from here, which is beautiful. And I think people get caught up in their bucket list items about, I gotta be there. I gotta do this thing. I saw it on Instagram. I really want to do it.
Right.
That they forget to take it in as it comes. I will always say that Hawaii is a special place, but you can't really enjoy it if you're always so fixated on doing the things that you set out to.
Right.
Sometimes you just gotta let Hawaii happen to you, and great things come out of it.
Love that. Looking at 2020, what does Shoreline look like as far as you guys? What can someone, if they're looking the book, what can they look forward to?
Well, we do have some promos, very interesting. If you want your hair to match the color of the sunset, we have what's called an ombré hair package. So if you book 4 nights or more, you get this hair treatment hair, restyling that you can book, and ombre it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you do that?
I don't. I wish I could. I don't think they'd be very happy. Right. Yeah, but if you want to get your hair ombre, you let us know. You book it on our website. We'll get that situated for you guys.
So that was with, what was that package?
I believe it's called ombre.
It's pretty obvious. Like the
ombre hair. Yeah.
Extravaganza.
So if you go onto our offers page on our website, then it's all right there, all of the details. So you can book in advance. Another great thing, everybody likes to get tattoos. I have quite a bit myself, but have you ever wanted a picture of a wave or a palm tree?
On my ankle.
Yeah. Yeah. And actually, that's perfect because we have a promotion. So if you book 3 nights, you get to take a piece of Hawaii with you, and it's on you forever. So get a tattoo with us. And then one more is if you book 2 nights or more, you can actually get a photography lesson with a local photographer too. Cool. So if you want to get those newsfeed worthy Instagram jealous photos, you can link up with somebody who is a professional. Yeah. Go around the island, take some killer photos, and show all your family and friends.
That's very creative. This is new for 2020, yeah?
They are, yes.
Okay. You're going to run just through like December 31st or as indefinitely as you see?
Right now, the promotions are throughout the end of the year. Of course, there are dates that are completely booked. So do take a look at your calendars and figure out in advance where and when you want to be. But
sorry, I got sorry, keep
where
going.
nature meets neon, you got a little bit of nature with you.
It's awesome. There's a mint leaf in my cup. I might have just almost drank it. Anyways.
Hawaii wanted to be one with you.
Yeah, right.
So you can go onto our website, check out the dates that you want to be here.
Yeah.
And then book any one of these packages.
So maybe even like zooming out a little bit, talking about booking dates and times of the year, what can somebody expect kind of the ebb and flow of the year to look like? Like,
Sure.
when's the busy season? When is, the quote light season?
Mm-hmm. From what I've seen, the busy season, surprise, surprise, is always summer. Definitely in the summer. I recommend that people come in the fall. The fall is a great time. There's not a lot of rain. It's lower in the hotels in terms of occupancy, but still the same great stuff. You're going to be able to do all of the hikes, all of the shopping. It all stays the same, just less people.
Yeah.
You're going to get a great spot along the beach. Trust me on this one. And then stay out of December. That's probably my best advice. December, probably past the 15th. All of Waikiki is busy.
Yeah.
Same scenario as in the summer. If you do Christmas in Hawaii, and I'm not saying that it's bad.
Yeah.
But if you do decide to do Christmas, book early. You got to get in there early. If you're trying to book in October, you're going to get really high rates. It's going to be really hard. So
yeah,
do it in advance.
Growing up on the island, what are some of your favorite experiences around Oahu?
Ooh, I mean, I do love hiking, as every other local does. I have a deep connection with food.
Really?
Poke is something special to us here. It was very interesting when we saw the trend hitting the mainland. We're like, wait, I'm sorry, what?
Like,
what?
It's like water here. That's just what right?
Yeah. It's at every party, every gathering. It has to be there. But I think the one special thing that really sticks out to me is the Hawaiian culture here.
Mm-hmm.
To me, the Hawaiian culture as a local growing up here is profound. I mean, it's beautiful. The language, it goes so much deeper than we know it is. And the history tied with all of those things is insane. I mean, did you know that Hawaii was once a monarchy? Did you know that we are the only state within the United States to have an official flag and language? So we have two official flags and 2 languages here.
Yeah.
And there are some creatures from the sea and from the land and from the sky that are only found here.
Right.
And they're all presented within the Hawaiian culture, and they all have a place. And if you're coming here for the first time, yes, Hawaii is beautiful and it's the landscape, but there's also a culture that I think there's a door that you can open, and you can go out and see these things, and you can seek out those authentic experiences and learn about our history, because there's so much there. I mean, just taking a stroll in Iolani Palace will really open your eyes.
Yeah. I think, someone's coming here, they're going to get the experience. They're going to get the beaches, the shopping, the poke, the whole thing. But having an understanding, just even as brief as you describe, of the Hawaiian culture, that's really what is special about this place. The love of the land, Aina, the whole, the breath of life, maybe even a deeper dive into maybe you personally, your love of the land. And we're talking about how we can protect it.
Yes.
How we can enjoy it, but how we can also preserve it for generations. So growing up for you, how was that instilled in you? And how did you have a love of the land growing up?
I think we all grow up knowing to take care of the land. So the saying is malama aina. So malama, to take care. Aina is the land. But it's more than just the land which we walk. The land provides, in the sense. So what you give to the land gives back to you. So the water, it's the how you prepare the soil, it's how you pull your crops. If you're overdoing it, it'll have an adverse effect. So it's this give and take. It's more of a relationship that I've learned growing up here, that it's a deeper connection. Yes, you can fish and you can, get hundreds and thousands of fish, but if you overfish, then your family won't eat. And if you overdo the land, the soil won't provide anymore. So it's a relationship
like a
thing.
Give and take. Yeah.
And that's really important, because it's that the land is what provides to us. It's our sustenance. It's, our home. And that's what I took away from growing up here and going to public school. We have Hawaiian studies.
Uh-huh.
It's part of our curriculum.
Right.
We can't graduate without them, but we learn a little bit about the language. We learn a little bit about the history and what we can do to be a part of that. So it's cleaning the beaches, it's volunteering your time, getting to a lo'i if you can.
Mm-hmm.
So lo'i is the taro pond, and taro is very, very hard to do if you're not experienced. Just cultivating that and just farming that. Wow, I have a lot of respect for people who do it.
That's incredible.
So the Hawaiian culture, again, is very deep and profound. And although I'm not of Hawaiian descent, I love talking about it because perpetuating it and ensuring it for the future generations is what we need right now. Through the history, we've seen a lot of things disappear. So that's why we're all here standing together to do what we can to make sure it doesn't. And one of the great things that, although it's not as deep, I guess you can say, in the traditional part of things, but is still important to me, is May Day. Mm-hmm. And it's a celebration of May and the flowers and the blossoms in school. We have performances, and there are still people today who hand make intricate leis of hundreds of blossoms. They go out, and the expert lei makers go out, pick blossoms from, of course, the lands that they're okay to pick from, but they bring back these things from the mountains, weave them together,
right.
Boom. It's beautiful, it's big, and that's what May Day is all about. It's appreciation for the land. And the Shoreline Hotel and Coconut Waikiki shows our appreciation to this day by giving out complimentary leis to all of our guests. So whoever's checking in on May 1st, you get one. You get to be a part of it. It's a celebration. And I cannot tell you how great it smells.
I bet.
May Day is fantastic. You don't even need perfume. You just smell it from the lobby. Take it all in.
Yeah. Waikiki, everywhere is all in on May Day for the most part as you go down.
Yeah, there's a lot of parades. I believe sometimes there's deals, depending on where you're looking. All of the schools, public and private, celebrate this. It's a big thing.
Yeah.
If you look at the calendar for May, there's always something going on.
So if someone's coming in May, obviously they have, May Day to look forward to as part of their itinerary and, experiences. Alongside of that, if someone's coming to the islands for the first time, I know we talked briefly about that earlier, but what are maybe some other tips and maybe things to do, or maybe even things, hey, make sure you don't do this, or, from your perspective, what would you say?
From a local side, if you're driving, I know not everybody does this, but if you're driving and somebody lets you in the lane, we're very, very peaceful and happy people, very kind. But if we let you in the lane and it's very trafficky right now, say thank you. Throw a shaka, wave a hand.
Yeah.
You will make somebody's day that much easier. Showing aloha while driving is important. Mm-hmm. It's not just day-to-day interactions. Right. But on the road is great. Let's see. Bring a reusable bag.
Yeah.
Is that a trend right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's good. That and a water bottle too.
Yes.
Yeah. Stainless steel, reusable water bottle is important. Yeah.
That's all going back to the eco-friendly thing that I mentioned earlier.
Yeah. Everyone's got their Trader Joe's bags or whatever,
Amen. Yeah.
So it's all good.
Guaranteed.
Yeah. But that's one of the things as you're packing, you tend to forget, or even like a, reusable water bottle, like you just forget, like you meant to, but those two things for sure are critical and playing a part in the eco-friendly here in Hawaii. Mm-hmm. Well, Julie, thank you so much for your time today. And someone's coming to Waikiki and wants to book at Shoreline. How can they find you guys? And maybe how can they take you guys when they go back home too? What are some ways they can stay up to date?
Great. So I would love for you guys to come and visit us. You can find us online at shorelinehotelwaikiki.com. And if you are the visual type and need to see your social media feed light up before you make the commitment to book, our Instagram is at Shoreline Hotel. You can also find us on Facebook at Shoreline Hotel Waikiki.
Great. Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you and what you guys are doing here.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Aloha.
Aloha.
I want to thank Julie again for her time and Shoreline for their incredible hospitality. I hope in our conversation we were able to paint a clear picture of how special Shoreline really is. and everything they have to offer. To find all the links and references in this episode, like the Biki tour that Julie referenced, go to livehawaiisbest.com/episode 06. My biggest takeaway in this conversation was the reminder of to let Hawaii happen. And I wanted to quote Julie again because I think it's worth repeating. She said, "I will always say that Hawaii is a special place, but you can't really enjoy it if you're always so fixated on doing the things you set out to do. Sometimes you just got to let Hawaii happen to you, and great things will come out of it." To me, that really wraps the heart of what Shoreline and many other great companies and influencers are striving for. So thanks again for joining me on this episode. And if you found value in it, please drop a review below. And if you don't have time for that, just leave a rating. But both of those things really help out the show in ranking so more people can find and enjoy this conversation all about Hawaii. Well, until next time, friends, be well. Aloha.
Thanks for listening to Hawaii's Best Podcast. To stay up to date on future episodes, be sure to hit the subscribe button and find us at livehawaiisbest.com.